For teenagers like Bernard Wardrick and his friends Bosky, C, and Mike, there are no familiar road maps for the way up and out. It is the street and the media that teach a boy here how to become a man. Bernard dreams of making it as a rap star. He and his friends have formed a group, the Educated Three.
I like that. So here they come. New Jersey, your own Educated Three. I'm the Educated B, the Educated C. Two fresh MCs, most definitely. Two fresh MCs, who can't stop. We're gonna rock the mic till we hit the top. What you heard before, you're gonna hear it again. The Educated Two came here to win. Oh, we did something that wasn't polite. We almost forgot. DJ Money and Mike. Somebody people out there in the place to be. Put us all together, and that makes three.
What is rapping?
To me, it's like poetry because, I could just sit down and write it. I could sit at the table or whatever, wherever I'm at, and I can just think of it.
The Educated Three tell the story of the only life they know, the life of their block. They were born and raised here in homes without fathers, and most of their time is spent here. The world they describe is no nursery rhyme, as Bernard's friend C told us.
All the people got guns and turn stick-up kids while their mother is at home, shedding tears because the son that she thought she had brought up right is on the streets leading a terrible life. He's walking down the road heading for nowhere. From my point of view, he don't even care because the attitude he has makes him care about nothing, not his mother, his brother, or even his cousins. He think life is all about on the streets, being a two-time loser and a petty thief. But everybody know that you're a thief of the week because you're no good for nothing. You swear you're good for something. Homeboy, the only thing you're good for is fronting.
You wrote this?
Yeah.
Who'd you write about?
I judged a lot on myself because I used to be out there, man.
Out there on the street?
God, just 18 years, I've seen a lot happen that I never thought I'd see.
When you're out on that street, is it dangerous?
It's dangerous, but it's dangerous. Any day you can go outside, anything can happen to you.
Yeah, but it's how you make it, too.
Yeah.
Can a guy get killed on the street easily?
Sure.
See how you blink your eye?
Like that.
Yeah.
Killed just like that.
The leading cause of death for young black men is murder. 1 in 21 will be killed before the age of 25. Bernard was shot and robbed by 2 teenagers when he was 15. 4 months later, he was arrested for carrying a gun. That is not unusual. Nearly half of young men in the inner city are arrested before they reach 18. Trouble, Bernard told us, waits at every corner. How does a guy keep from falling into that trap that you described in that rap?
If you see everybody else robbing, man, and selling drugs, it takes a wise man to learn from another man's mistakes.
That's so true. Even decades later, you have to learn from the mistakes of others. That's why these lessons are so important. You don't have to make the same bad decisions that these folks made. And by being able to see where they messed up, you can make better choices for yourself, live a better life. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. If you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to respond to all of you. This was back in 1986 in Newark, New Jersey. Young men raised in the inner city, no fathers in the home, growing up with their single mothers, raising kids with the help of the government. But Bernard was 15 years old at the time of this recording. His dream was to become a big-time rapper. Same dream for a lot of young black teenagers in the 1980s growing up in the inner city. No different from Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Jay-Z, and 50 Cent. All of these men eventually broke through to become successful in spite of the dangerous neighborhoods they came up in. At 15 years old though, Bernard had no real guidance and wasn't really sure if he would even survive his teenage years.
The adults gotta set an example for the kids. If they see the adults do it, that's what they're gonna do too, eventually.
Who would be an example?
My family, my mother.
His mom is Brenda Wardrick, 30 years old, the mother of 4 children by 3 different men. She has never been married. She raises her children alone in a daily tug-of-war with the street.
He said the adults must guide the kids. The kids are going to look at what the adults are doing and they're going to follow it. He went on to tell the reporter that his mother is the person he had to look up to. We're talking about a woman 15 years older than him. He's 15 years old, his mother's 30 years old, and she has 4 kids, none of the fathers around, and that's who he had to look up to. That's who he had to learn from. So here's the problem here. A woman really can't raise a man. She's able to prepare her daughter to a certain extent, but her son, most of them have absolutely no idea what to do with them. And some of you may say you turned out fine. You had a single mother. Well, congratulations, you survived.
It's a battle. It's almost like, and I think most parents feel the same way. You fear for your children leaving home. They can leave out and walk right across the street and trouble can get in their way.
What's the hardest thing about being a single parent?
It's hard, understanding them sometimes. And they have difficulties understanding me because I'm a young parent and sometimes they act like I'm their sister as well as their mother,
Brenda was just 14 when she became pregnant with Bernard, her first child. Bernard's father was 15. By the time she was in her early 20s, there were 3 more children, each unplanned. To support them, Brenda works on and off as a nurse's aide, but she could not make ends meet without welfare. None of the children's fathers give her any financial support.
I don't understand what happens that causes so many fathers not to take responsibility for the kids they created or helped to create.
It's easier on their pockets if they can. Most of the men today don't, assume their responsibilities as they should. Not that they can't, they just don't.
I'd get very mad if I were a mother. I think I would.
Oh, I get angry.
Oh yeah, of course, she was angry. But let me ask you a question. Do any of you think that she directed any of that anger towards herself? First of all, at 14 years old, you're not supposed to even be doing this. And you're also old enough to know that you're not supposed to be doing it because most people by that age, they had an adult who told them not to. For the girls out there, it's usually your mother. She's the one who gave you the rules. So if your mama told you not to be out there messing with boys, and you better not get pregnant, and you showed up to the house pregnant because you was messing around with the boy, then who are you angry at? It should be yourself for disobeying your mother. But knowing her, she was probably mad at the guys. She had 3 baby daddies. Did you notice what he didn't ask her though? He didn't ask her, why did you allow 3 different people to get you pregnant? Even if you write the first one off as a mistake, how did you go and repeat that 3 more times? You see, this one right here is for you teenagers out there who may be watching and you like to disobey your parents. Here's an example of having to learn the hard way. That's what this is. I don't care what nobody say or what everybody else is out there doing, but you are never ever to allow men to go and put a baby on you. The only man that should be getting you pregnant is your husband. And if your mama told you right, she also told you you better choose your husband wisely. Because once he's your husband, he's your husband. Whether or not y'all make it last forever, y'all will forever be tied on that family tree together. So yeah, at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for you. There's just no way that you're going to be able to control what everybody else is going to do.
I'd get very mad if I were a mother. I think I would.
Nah, the people who should have been mad here will be her mother and her father. She came home pregnant at 14 years old, brought home an extra person to care for and feed. She was brought up in a traditional home with a mother and a father, and I just know they also did not approve of her having 3 baby daddies. This is a problem that some families they deal with. Rebels. You may raise them to be a certain way, and they know rights from wrong, but they just do wrong because they want to.
What do your children mean to you?
My friends. They're my world, when I wake up in the morning. See, if you don't have a husband or a man with you, your children are always there. So you have someone to call your own. So your children will smile when nobody else will.
Do you want your kids to get married?
Sure, especially my daughter. My boys, they'd probably be, what you call it? Freelancers.
Freelancers?
Yeah.
Like their fathers?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
That does seem to be the pattern.
Yeah.
The first thing she said here was that her kids, they're her friends. And that's the problem. Whenever you have kids looking at you as a peer, they're going to be out of order, going to be a lot of disrespect. They're not going to understand basic boundaries. Your kids are supposed to be your kids. You are the parent. The parent is the leader. The parent has authority over the kid. Not the other way around. You're not classmates on the same level. And we have to be honest, a lot of that happens whenever a father is not around and the whole foundation is broken, there's no structure. And then she said that she's hoping that her daughter will become a wife one day, but as for her sons, she doesn't have high hopes for them. She said that she's thinking that they're going to be like their fathers. They won't get married and they're going to have kids out of wedlock. That was very interesting. She didn't say that her daughter will be like her mother, but she said that her sons, even the little ones, they're probably going to be like their fathers. Now, she didn't have a husband, but she had a man in the house. Can anybody in the comments guess what type of man would date a 30-year-old woman with 4 kids, 3 baby daddies in the PJs? Tell me, what kind of man would she choose to come around and be in her kids' lives? Who do you think this woman attracted? Special thanks to Roland. Thank you so much, Roland, for your support, as well as our brothers Nicholas and Dark Power. Want to see more content like this? You can support the channel too. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.